Fordham Rams find themselves back out on the road after a win in the second city over the Ramblers this past weekend. Coach Bridgette Mitchell and her squad look to extend their A10 win streak to 5 games. It will be no easy feat with the mighty Hawks of St. Joseph's in front of them. Cindy Griffin has done a fantastic job with her program in the last almost quarter of a century, with some of her and the Hawks' most success coming recently. A three-headed monster of Ziegler, Brugler, and Smith have powered the Hawks, all 3 women with respective spots in the A10 top 10 scorers this season. Coming off a strong defensive matchup in a loss on the road at VCU, Coach Griffin and her team are hungry. Can Taylor Donaldson and the Fordham Rams extend their streak to 5 in Philly? It's the Hawks of St. Joseph's and the Fordham Rams, and it's with Coach Bridgette Mitchell ahead of St. Joseph's and Fordham. Coach, heading into this one, a really strong run of play. What kind of challenge does the St. Joe's team pose for you and your team?
Definitely. I think that they are a dominant team, having a crew that's played together since they were freshmen, right? So they know each other very well. They can have the ability to shoot on the perimeter from the 3 and then as well inside, right? And so when you have post players that can do that and play with that versatility, it poses threats for us in a sense of our defensive matchups. I think that I would say that's the biggest one.
Thinking down low, to that point a little bit, Emma Wilson-Saltos has kind of made her role in that starting lineup and has really facilitated for you guys a really efficient 9 points in your last game against Loyola Chicago. What role has she filled? Was it a role that you knew had to be filled before the season started, and how well has she done in that role?
Definitely. I think that she's rose to the occasion and in terms of finding that belief and confidence in her game because her teammates need it. We see it every day, and for her to see it come to fruition in games is really awesome. I think that she brings the athleticism and the energy that
this season, and how beneficial has it been up to this point?
Yeah, it's here. It's present. It's something that we've been talking about all season, and so for us to play the way that we have been and demonstrate it, it's my expectation that we do it all the time, right? But that's really challenging to come in and feel 100% all the time and want to dive on the floor all the time, right? And so it's just becoming a part of our identity that we had always believed, and now we're seeing it to come to light. And so just proud of how we've been fighting together.
Yeah, and confidence. We've talked about that. You just mentioned it with Emma. We talked about it with Irene plenty of times this year. How much has that confidence not only give you guys a sense of belonging with these teams like St. Joe's and Richmond at the top of the A10, but just in general for the rest of your journey this year?
Yeah, that's you just hit the nail on the head. It's for the rest of our journey this year. That's all we're focused on, and I think that because we're that way, we're beating some people that records say that we shouldn't beat. But if we show up and we play our best game, we'll have the outcome that we desire.
Thank you, Coach. Action next on WFUV Sports. stopping at the right elbow. Mid-range are no good. And Wilson Saltos on the offensive glass. Out to Donaldson, her three, no good from the left wing. Another offensive rebound, Kay Harris. Fordham still has the ball and another opportunity in the offensive end. It's Kay Davis, top of the arc. Inside to Wilson Saltos, under the basket, gathers it, puts it in. Wilson Saltos puts himself under the basket, but she's got Fordham out to a 7-point lead. 5.5 to go in this first quarter. Bringing it up now on the block. Left corner, trying to get it inside the Ziegler. Out of bounds off there.
Chris, this Fordham defense right now is doing exactly what we saw Coach Mitchell run through in the shoot-around today, getting it out of the hands of the big three in Brugler.
It'll be inbound. Davis drives inside, floater middle of the lane, no good. In favor of St. Joe's.
You know, that's just something that Fordham has to figure out how to get rid of. No more personal fouls. They've been struggling with that all year right now. And so those personal fouls have to be cut down if they want to win this game against a really good and getting to the basket exactly how they know how.
Now let's take a moment to honor and thank Laura. Now let's play the video.
Take my bad. When I'm talking to you there, don't stop. Like, keep talking.
I apologize.
Hi, this is Michael Kay, WFUV
Yes.
class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
If I'm not responding, just keep calling the game. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. We get it back.
Give me a count off.
It's exactly what Coach projected. Both ends of the floor, back and forth, and
no one's going to stop them hitting a 10. This win streak in which they had a really exciting game down to the buzzer. This one, they had a relatively good early performance, and you have a real sense of belonging around the top of this A10 with a lot of these teams pick to finish around the top or even finish ahead of this conference.
but it doesn't matter. They've shown confidence and just strength and effort that Coach Mitchell is instilling into these girls has been great.
6 to go.
low. That one is good. That's wants right into the post, getting it in. Inside the Wilson Saltos on the right block, spinning to the middle of the lane, and a travel. A turnover and a foul is something that you don't want to see against this St. Joe's team, who is really good at profiting off these turnovers that Fordham's going to give them. And the three-headed monster, like we've mentioned before, it's only a matter of time. Even 3:45 to go in this first quarter. Anastasia Veljevic gets shaken up on the opposing baseline.
Shaking for 23 behind 30.
Berry subbing in. Berry, Harris, Donaldson. Bodies on the floor, and a jump ball call. Jump ball inflicted.
Jump ball position, St. Joseph's.
The other way on the possession arrow. She was brought in for from Detroit Mercy is bringing that extra effort onto the court. In the future. Taking a three and hitting a three. Dave Harris with the big try to be a straight on the spot. Going to stay 2:30 to go in this first quarter. Stokes, top of the arc. Stokes going to her three. Goes good over the entire run. And Barry's ready to get the shot. Fordham moving the other way. Ferguson to the left side of the lane, passing it out. Harris, left wing three, no good. This is a whole wing. Moore gets it on the passing the left corner quickly. Head fake by Casey. Pass to Ziegler. Her left wing three, no good offside rim. Ferguson there on the defensive line. Flying in, and a defensive foul picked up by a St. Joe's defender. St. Joe's not by her own voice. Perfect move from Shea Harris. Exactly what right side of the lane. Finds up the right block. Back to the defender. Turning. Passing the finishing at the rim with the left hand. Rene Mora back within 5. 18-9. 1 minute to go. Go to the rim, pass under to Caleb Harris. She loses it on the way up. The St. Joe's gets it back.
That's number 3, Hagan
22 seconds to go in this first quarter. Big time bucket by Casey. Out of the lane, shot at the rim is no good, and a 2-second for St. Joe's pushing the other way.
That's the end of the first quarter. The score is 4-4.
Rams with a very controlling start to this game. 6 unanswered points to start the quarter. St. Joe's within 2 after one. With the second quarter and more, you're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports. Chris, it's
Nick Guzman here.
And I'm James Burley.
We're the hosts of FUV FC, WFUV's very own soccer podcast.
Tune in weekly as we break down everything there is to know in the world of soccer.
From the Champions League to the international game to Major League Soccer, we'll have you covered all over the pitch for the beautiful game.
You won't want to miss it. With a rotating group of hosts and beat reporters, FUVFC is your source for all things soccer, football, whatever you want to call it.
It's about the beautiful game. We're cutting it up on FUVFC.
FUVFC is a production of WFUV Sports.
supposedly, I don't know if I believe this a whole lot for a mascot to do in one game. 71st year that the St. Joseph's Hawk has appeared on the sidelines of a basketball game for them. The entire time, I better be getting a full scholarship. Is that their size might not be able to get there, getting double and triple teamed when they drive into the paint. Drawn up at the end. driving to the left side of the lane, back out to for the Fordham Rams. Right now, kicking and driving. No good. Rebound. Back layup is good. More good for this Rams team. Putbacks. There's Kimura.
Timeout on the floor.
Becoming a very difficult process. I try to run and
I'm
see if
Chaz
they have
McGowan.
another one.
And I'm Ben Oppenheimer. And we are two of your hosts for On the Hill, the flagship podcast
I don't know why this
of
is
Fordham
not working
Athletics.
fine the
We'll be
entire
talking
game.
about everything from football at Mowgli Stadium to hoops at the historic Rose Hill Gym, discussing the ins and outs of all Ram athletes, teams, and big games. If you want to be part of the Ramily, then listen to On the Hill from WFUV Sports.
You know, Chris, it's all about limiting turnovers, and Fordham has not been doing that. And St. Joe's is a great team at forcing turnovers, forcing steals, and that's just what they've been doing. There's a reason why they were picked to finish second in the A10 conference. Tough baskets need to start second chance points. Fordham is getting those second chance baskets, but they have to. Offensive foul. Emma Wilson's goal coach down low on the left block, picking up a foul off the ball.
Four foul charge number 13, Emma Wilson. Reverse, team first.
23 to go in this first half. This is all for Fordham to try now, score and show why they belong. To the middle of the lane, to the other side of the ring.
first, tees first. Checking in Fordham, 5, Shea Harris. Checking the off.
Now on the left baseline, under the basket by Taya Davis. Taking in the more left corner, with a handoff back to Davis. Dump ball pass to Wilson Santos, who finishes from the right side. Shot put up by Sweet and Jay Harris. No doubt. Up ahead to Taylor Downs in the left corner. Drives baseline side. Out to Mora. Get past to Shea Harris. Her right wing three. He's good! Again, back out to her. It's now 23-21. 2:09 to go in this first half.
Help ball.
Impressive possession, and the St. Joseph's Hawks gritty basketball. To take a three, no good from straight on. Defensive rebound by Sweet. Saw 4 Rams in the middle of the paint, and that's exactly what not get the turnover.
Tees second.
Laura Ziegler in the back, taking it out for St.
Last one.
No good on the defensive board. The defense on the left side of the lane and finishing. Driving to the left side of the baseline. Downtown. Put away to end the first half with major amounts of fireworks. For the Rams, and for a game that was really I want to see on a closeout. I'm a big proponent. WFUV Sports.
Lou Orlando, Chaz McAdams. We're now joined by the first ever general manager of St. Bonaventure men's basketball, Adrian Wojnarowski. Appreciate you taking. They really rewarded with one heck of a first season, their best start in 55 years. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's been tremendous. No, good to be with you guys. Good to be at Rose Hill today. This is a great college basketball environment. A lot of Bonnie fans here, along with the Ram faithful.
Oh, we can hear them.
Yeah, yeah. And so, listen, people are excited about our team and our community, and so good first half for us. But this is as you guys know, this is a good Fordham team, and we overcame some foul trouble in the first half and got some really good contributions from our bench.
Yeah, speaking of your role as GM, just kind of an ever-shifting landscape in college basketball, obviously with NIL and everything. What do you think that means for the future of mid-major basketball?
It's a challenge, and I think Fordham, I think certainly the people at Fordham are faced with it. It's St. Bonaventure and certainly, sort of the smaller private schools in our conference. We're trying to compete at a high level in our league with the Daytons, with the VCUs, St. Louis's, whose resources and size are significant. And there's a gulf that's increasing, that's probably going to increase with revenue sharing. And so I think for schools like St. Bonaventure, I think like Fordham, a St. Joe's, a Duquesne, being creative, being really efficient with the resources you do have, and for us having, an incredible coach in Mark Schmidt, that closes a lot of gaps for us, and that tightens, that tightens the gap with schools who do have more resources. We've been doing that for a long time under Coach Schmidt at Bonaventure, but the challenge only increases. So obviously, NIL is a huge part of that, and so, and my role as GM is spending a lot of time trying to be creative and maximize the resources that we have and the folks who can help us and that we can work with to try to help us with NIL.
I'm curious just to get your thoughts on the level. It seems like
it's not a rumor; it's a court case.
Yeah, that's right. College basketball seems like it's just changing every year. I want to get your take on that.
Adapt or perish, and that's where we all are right now. And I think for us at Bonaventure, listen, the most important recruiting you're going to do is with your own team, and retention and keeping your players. Once you have them and they experience success and buy into your program, keeping those players. And so you're always working on that because it's perpetual free agency. Everybody can be a free agent every year. And so it's changing I don't want to say every year. It feels like it's, every month, every week, there's an evolution to this. And so for us at Bonaventure to have a place where people really care about our program, understand that the success of our basketball program is, it directly correlates to success and the thriving of our entire university. And so for places like Bonaventure, like Fordham, when your athletic program is going well, your university is doing well. And so it has bigger ramifications for us.
Thank you. I'd love to get, you talked about how much you loved Bonaventure. It was part of the reason you came back and took this role. And we hear so many great things from alums that talk about Bonaventure. You see the fans come out, even here in the Bronx, miles away from Olean, New York. What has Bonaventure meant to you? What do you think it means to this alumni fan base? Can you speak a little bit about how just impassioned it seems the Bonnies fans are?
Yeah, there's no place quite like St. Bonaventure, a school with 1,900 students that competes in a league like the Atlantic 10. There are other schools our size, but they're not in a league like this.
Yeah.
St. Bonaventure was a transformational place in my life, and I think for a lot of people. And so it keeps we all keep an incredible connection to it. I think the success of the program is a big part of that. But even in pre-Coach Schmidt, in lean years, people still, it didn't change how much people love the place and want to get it right. And so for us, the opportunity we have to continue playing at a high level like this is because we have this impassioned fan base that will not just go into Rose Hill, but will go into other places. We played in Florida earlier this year, and we have alums everywhere, and it's a lot of metropolitan New York alums here, and folks will travel. But it's a special place, and I'm honored to be back and to be able to play a role and just trying to help coach with the program and try to get us through this really challenging time. I'm having a lot of fun.
Do you think, obviously you spent the better part of your career being an NBA insider, do you see with all the movement that we see in college basketball now, that being kind of a role that we can see in college basketball rather than just in the professionals?
Yeah, I think the GM role, I think for every school every school's got different needs out of a GM, and I think every GM, a lot of us have come from very different backgrounds. Baker Dunleavy at Villanova was a coach, and Alex Klein at Syracuse was in scouting. I come from a different background, and so I think you kind of play to your strengths, mind relationships, and try to open doors for our guys and be able to go out and try to raise money and give our guys pro opportunities while they're in college, getting them in gyms with NBA guys, and then when their careers are over here, you know, to get them access to people who can help their careers, whether it's playing here in the United States, hopefully in the NBA, or playing overseas.
One last quick one, because obviously very famous to your time as an NBA insider. A couple big FUV guys in the NBA world, Mike Bree and Ryan Ruocco. Just curious if you ever had any interactions or minglings with them.
It was an honor to work with both of them. You know, obviously, both I worked with at ESPN. I saw Michael Kay.
Yeah.
You know, the patron saint of Rose Hill. Here, John Giannone and just Jack Curry.
Yeah.
You know, legends. I mean, those guys are legends in my profession, my old profession, and obviously Fordham. You know, great Fordham men. So it's great to see those guys here. And you know, Fordham is a who's who, and you know, we think we have a pretty good journalism school. Mike Vaccaro, Dan Barry for the New York Times, Pulitzer Prize winners here. So some pretty esteemed journos from Fordham and Bonnie's in the house today.
Adrian Wojnarowski, the first ever GM in St. Bonaventure men's basketball history. Woj, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Chaz McAdams.
And I'm Ben Oppenheimer.
And we are
Nick
two of your
Guzman
hosts
here.
for
And I'm
On
James
the Hill,
Burley.
We're the hosts of
flagship
FUV
podcast of Fordham
FC,
Athletics.
WFUV's very own soccer podcast.
Tune in weekly as we break down everything there is to know in the world of soccer.
From the Champions League to the international game to Major League Soccer, we'll have you covered all over the pitch of the beautiful game.
You won't want to miss it. With a rotating group of hosts and beat reporters, FUVFC is your source for all things soccer, football, or whatever you want to call it.
If it's about the beautiful game, we're cutting it up on FUVFC.
FUVFC is a production of WFUV Sports.
Hi, my name is Ryan Ruocco, WFUV Athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Michael Kay, WFUV class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.